Hi guys, so this is just a intuitive, like I tried to make an intuitive explanation for the engaging diameter seen with a particular presentation part. So first of all, let me get something straight. The position I'm assuming is the fetal is in a longitudinal lie, right? The fetus is in a longitudinal lie. The presentation is obviously cephalic, and the presenting part I will elaborate further. So depending on the presenting part, your engaging diameter changes. Now how I want you to think about this is, so assume the fetus neck, okay? The neck of the fetus, just assume it is perpendicular. So it's perpendicular to the edge of my desk and the pelvis, okay? Based on that, from the we will see how flexed the neck, the head of the fetus is. Now, in the most flexed position, right? So, if this is the neck of the fetus, and in the most flexed position, we know that it is the vertex presentation. So, you see the vertex is facing down, and the neck of the fetus will be like this at this point, okay? Now, I just want you to understand, why is the engaging diameter sub-occipito-bregmatic, right? We always read about that. Now, if you just see here, you can see that I've drawn the fetal skull, and I would like to draw your attention to basically 4 points of origin, right? So first we have the sub-occipital point, occipito point, like so we go sub-occipito-bregmatic, sub-occipito-frontal, and then we move up, and then we go occipito-frontal. And the next point of origin is basically all the way here. It goes mento vertical, and after that we move to submento, and we go submento bregmatic and submento vertical. Okay, no need to get confused between so many lines. Just think about the 4 origin points and go in an anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so if you got that, basically I just want you to understand that whenever you're going through the, what do you say, skulls, like the diameters, right? These are all AP diameters, by the way. We'll get to the transverse diameters. So whenever there is vertex presentation, right, just think about it. So this is my what do you say, image of a pelvis, and we have the fetus skull. Now think about it. When the vertex is pointing like this, and this is the longitudinal axis, the engaging diameter is the widest diameter, right? So think of what is the widest perpendicular, like, or the most perpendicular line which corresponds to that particular orientation. So in this orientation, as we can see, if this was the, what do you say, axis, the most perpendicular line to this axis is the sub-occipito-bregmatic. I want you to understand this. So in any presenting part, the engaging diameter is always the perpendicularly, what do you say, drawn line between 2 points in the fetus head. So if we move on for your for like better understanding, so in vertex presentation, the first one would be sub-occipito-bregmatic, and then at this point, let's say the fetus's head is very flexed, right? Now it will become slightly deflexed. So from this, it goes to this, right? And at this point, where still the vertex is still the presenting part, because the vertex is a very wide presenting part. Now the perpendicular line would become this one, sub-occipito frontal. Okay, I'll give you another trick to like better understand this also. So we go from sub-occipito bregmatic, slightly extended. I'm using this very carefully. Like, it's not extended, it's just a relatively more extended position than this one. So it slightly extends the neck, and then we go to sub-occipito frontal, right? And then the head extends a little bit more. Okay, And technically occipito, and then we come to occipitofrontal. Are you getting here? So we were here. Now this line was the most, what do you say, perpendicular one. And then we slightly rotated. Now this line became the most perpendicular one, perpendicular to this axis. And then we rotated a little bit more, and this occipitofrontal line is the most perpendicular one. Okay? Or you can just think about parallel to the floor. So we are at occipitofrontal. Now, after vertical, the presentation we have is bro presentation. So when we get to bro presentation, so around here, this is the bro presentation, right? This is the bro. So which axis or which diameter do you see is very perpendicular? Like, if you want, you can pause the video, draw a line here, and just tell me which axis is most perpendicular to this. Yes, it's the mento-vertical. So as we study in the bro presentation, the engaging diameter would be the mento-vertical diameter. Now after this, you rotate it slightly more. So it's not too different, right? From bro, as soon as we rotate it a little bit, now we can start to see the face coming in. And once we're in face, the first diameter in face is the submento vertical diameter. And now after this, if you see the complete face, I think it's very obvious now which diameter would be the presenting diameter. Yes, it's the submento bregmatic diameter. Okay, did you understand that? So as the fetus's head, so it's very flexed here, and then it gets slowly, it starts extending the neck. Okay, if you want, you can imagine this as the neck. Okay, if this is the neck, initially it's like this, and slowly it starts extending its neck. Are you seeing that? If you want to, you can try to extend your own neck, and you will see that approximately this is the angle where you will come to. Okay, so roughly your neck line would be straight with your chin line, right? So now once we're here, another what do you say, explanation I would like to give is, whenever you're going through the diameters, right, just start at this posterior point. So you have the suboccipito something, right? So you have the suboccipito. Now go in an anti-clockwise direction, and from the suboccipito what do you say thing, what's the first anti-clockwise point you hit? Suboccipitobregmatic. And then you will hit the suboccipitofrontal. Now you finish the two diameters originating from here, move in an anti-clockwise direction. There's only one, occipitofrontal. Now move in an anti-clockwise direction all the way here, mento vertical. Move in an anti-clockwise direction, submento vertical. And the last one in a completely extended fetus head would be submento bregmatic. Now for the numbers, which basically are like the diameters, I know it's slightly abstract, but I've tried to make a correlation. So whenever we're going from, suboccipito to in an anti-clockwise direction, the diameters keep increasing till the mento-vertical diameter. Okay? And after this, something weird happens. So basically, the mento-vertical diameter, as you can see, it's the longest or the widest diameter in the fetus's head. Okay? So the shortest one, right, the simplest one is the suboccipitobregmatic. This starts off at 9.5, and then it increases to suboccipitofrontal, which should be 10. So 9.5, 10. It's not too different. So 9.5, 10. And then we jump. So yeah, as you can see, there's quite a bit of a jump. So from suboccipitofrontal to occipitofrontal, there's quite a big jump, the length of the fetus's head. So that's why instead of going 10.5 so it's got 9.5, 10, this directly jumps to 11.5. And from 11.5, if you look at the mento-vertical diameter, this is the largest diameter. So it's 14 centimeters. And after this, we have the submento-vertical, which is 11.5. So again, it's decreasing now. So 14, 11.5, So you see this difference of 14, 11.5, and then suddenly there's a sharp jump. So from this submento vertical to submento bregmatic. Submento bregmatic is only 9.5. So we have 9.5, 10, jump 11.5, big jump 14. We go back short again, which is submento vertical. So from mento vertical, we go to submento vertical, which is 11.5. So 14, 11.5, and 9.5. So just as a quick, mnemonic kind of thing. So which are the 9.5s of the fetus's head? I just made a tiny mnemonic. So it is the three 9.5s, right? In the fetus's head, we have three diameters which are 9.5. We have SOB, subospitobregmatic, SMB, submentobregmatic, and the biparietal diameter. Now this, I just made the mnemonic as cry, like Mahesh Babu is crying, so it's like SMB is sobbing, and the biparietal. So if you want a mnemonic for the, transverse diameters, it's basically, I got it from Sakshi ma'am. So it is Miss Tina so pretty. So Miss would be like bimastoid, Tina would be bitemporal, SO would be super subparietal, and pretty would be biparietal. So it goes from 7.5, 8, 8.5 to 9.5. So I've written it here. So Miss Tina so pretty, 7.5, 8, 8.5 to 9.5. So the biparietal diameter along with suboccipitobregmatic and submentobregmatic are 9.5s. So, and here also, even in the engaging diameter table, we can see it goes from, so vertex. What was the presentation in vertex? So I'd actually recommend you guys to make one of these just for your own understanding if you got the time. So you got the vertex. So the first, in a fully flexed position, right? So this was our neck. In a fully flexed position in vertex, our diameter was, what was it? Suboccipitobregmatic, right? And then it becomes slightly deflexed. When it's slightly deflexed, what is the diameter? If you guys can say it. So suboccipitofrontal. Okay, here they don't mention the suboccipitofrontal. And then let's deflex the head a little bit more. So we're here, occipitofrontal. Okay, now we directly go to the bro presentation. So the C's, as you can see, the fetus is slowly extend its neck. And as the fetus extends its neck, we're here at bro. And at this bro presentation, I think it's pretty obvious that the mento-vertical diameter is the one that is parallel to the floor or perpendicular to this axis. Same is mentioned here. So in a partially extended neck, right, it's slightly looking up. It's not completely looking up. The mento-vertical diameter, 14 centimeters. It's the longest, whatever. And then again, the fetus just completely extends its neck and you get the face. In face presentation, the first one would be, so just think about it, submento vertical, right? So it's here. And if you rotate it a little bit more, the submento bregmatic becomes the engaging diameter. So I hope this video helped. This was just my way of understanding the engaging diameters from the presenting part. Again, just for clarification, the fetus is in a longitudinal lie. So the lie would be longitudinal. It is in a cephalic presentation. Obviously, that's why we're worried about the engaging diameter. The presentation is cephalic and the presenting part is vertex, bro, and face. So that's it, guys. I hope the transverse diameter ones helped as well. Thank you for watching.